Do you have anything to read?
Oh, yes, I did. I'm sorry. This is our class number 2 for 1988. And our writing started off tonight entitled The Light of Understanding. It said, the true light of understanding comes from within. Your outer world gives you physical facts that in a short period will be outdated, as you call it. When you feel confusion, pull this way and that. Listen not to the outer, unless it strikes a chord of understanding from within. Understanding from your plane could be called elastic, stretching this way and then another. And mark this well, true understanding can be different for each of you, yet it is the light of understanding that is correct for all of you. Each individual expression of life in the whole universe is just that, an individual, different than any other, as you are all in different places of consciousness, or growth, or of understanding. Each expression of life in their own unique way. This is why it is so important that we give each the freedom of their individual expression or understanding of from their viewpoint of life, from their level of consciousness. Yes, you may judge someone to be expressing life in what you may term harmful. If it is your child, then that has not yet matured to the place of making wise decisions, it is your responsibility to set an example or some action that may prevent injury. But even this is touchy, or what one of your other teachers has said, there are many fine lines. As you learn to go within, making contact with the light of understanding, you will experience life with more clarity, even on your physical plane. So that was the end of the writing.
Cool.
Is this comfortable?
Hmm?
Is this comfortable? Okay.
Yeah. Are you comfortable there?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Okay. Good evening, my dear ones. It is a small number in the physical, but I assure you there are many on this side of life who are with you this evening. And it is just as important for their understanding as is for yours. I would ask you to reach out in your thoughts to encompass all that are not here tonight in the physical, and to encompass those who are in the invisible, as you would call it, to open the door of understanding so that their hearts can absorb the light of understanding from this session that we have tonight. As we learn to move through each day and to start the day by making contact with the higher dimensions of divine love and light, one way is sending love into your day and sending love to all others and many other things. Another way is sitting down and getting quiet and reaching upward in your thoughts, in your consciousness, until you feel that little click that means that you have made contact with the higher dimensions of divine love and light. And feel the light coming down through the many dimensions of your being, down into your conscious physical awareness. Get the feeling of this, the discernment of this, and then ask or send love into having that light of understanding go with you into your day, into every thought, word, and deed, into every situation, into every encounter. As you travel your earth plane with the light of understanding, everything is much easier for you. Everything falls into place. And of course, the divine love is a very important element too. Understanding the truth from the higher point of view gives you an advantage. It helps you to understand the physical plane. And when you travel this road with the light of understanding from the higher dimensions coming down to your conscious awareness, then you see through the outer illusions. And as you go through this play on this stage we call Earth, you can see and understand with much more clarity things that are happening around you, things that are happening to you or from within you. As you learn to use this light of understanding, then you are able to be honest with yourself, because this light of understanding, if you choose to use it, does give you the truth with a capital T, and it does give you the understanding of yourself. And this is the most important. It is helpful to understand others and where they're coming from, as you have to deal with them, as you might say. But it is much more important that you understand yourself. And when the light of truth is connected from the higher dimensions, and you walk this path with the conscious awareness of the light of truth, then you see yourself in a different light. You see yourself from another point of view. And when you are going through the play, then you see the slightest thing that might be something that you want to improve. It is very valuable to understand yourself. When you understand yourself, then it is much easier for you to understand others. When you understand your inner feelings and your outer feelings, and how to express yourself with your fellow man in life as you go through your day-to-day experiences. When you let love be your motto and have the light of understanding as your light that shines before you, then you can walk this plane with peace of mind and a fulfilled heart of knowing that you are in the right place, that you are raising your consciousness each day a little better. Since we are small in number this evening, would you like to ask questions?
In sending God's love, I try to do that every day, and once in a while I tend to think that maybe I'm just saying the words and not, well, I really want to mean it, but sometimes it just seems like it's just habit that I say the words.
Be not concerned about this, my dear one. It is only necessary for you to be willing. And when you say the words, this means that you are willing. And God takes every advantage to let His love come forth on this plane. Be not concerned about this. Whenever you feel down, as you call it, are a little out of tune, this is when you need to send love the most, for your own benefit as well as others. And you may not feel that it is as valuable as when you're up, but it is there, and know that it is there. The ones who need the help the most are the ones who are not here tonight, who do not come regularly, and the ones who need the most help find the most excuses to not do their homework, to not get involved in classes such as this, or programs such as this center gives. But you, my dear one, need not be concerned, because whenever you open your thoughts and your mind and just say the words, you can be sure that God's love is flowing through you, and it is going to its mark, and it is also helping you. It is such an important thing to be consistent with sending love, and both of you, all three of you, do send love consistently. And this is very important for your growth, but it is also important for the planet and all on the planet. Does this clarify your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Are there other questions?
How does one pray without ceasing?
It is when you hold your consciousness above the physical plane of illusion and continuously hold your thoughts in a loving way, in a positive way, without reverting back to the negative. This is what your master teacher asks you to do, is to pray without ceasing. And when you hold your consciousness above this physical plane and allow God's love to flow through you, you are then praying in one of the most powerful ways that possible. You need not say words. It is not important to utter words, but when you make contact with the upper dimensions and hold that contact in your thoughts, in your feelings, as you go through your workday, and you will not be thinking of it continuously, but act, speak, and do everything as unto God. When you do this, then you are praying without ceasing. Is this understandable to you?
Yes, thank you.
It is such a beautiful thing to express the light of understanding and to allow it to be in your consciousness. It is such a glorious thing to us to be able to express on your plane these truths and to help you in the ways that you ask. And I tell you, my dear ones, you're coming to hear this with the outer ear now, but there will come a day when you will hear this with the inner ear just as plain as you're hearing it now with the outer ear. And your guidance will come from within, and you will know that it is the correct guidance. You will know it is the light of understanding from the higher realms of love and light. You will know that it comes from God. Is there anything else that you would discuss this evening? As we, on these planes, look at your planet and at the individuals that are in this program here at Creative Guidelines, or many other programs that are going on your planet, we do discuss each one of you. You are very important to this particular time of this planet, because you are the light of the world, as your master teacher said. You are the way shores, and even if you do not speak a word, still the vibrations that are coming from you as you send love are going out and touching those who are near you. And as you send love out to the whole world, then this is helping. This is a transition time for your planet, and there will be much more turmoil, as there already is on your planet, but those who are in the light of understanding and who use love as their motto will know what to do when trouble comes to their place or to the place close to them. When you have this contact with the higher dimensions and your teachers and with the God within you, then you need not fear anything. You need not fear anything that happens to or around you or for your loved ones, because you understand that everything and everyone are in their right place at the right time, and there is a purpose behind everything that happens in your life. You are where you need to be to learn what you need to learn at this time. And when you have learned what you need to learn from where you are, then you will be somewhere else. It may not be a physical place, but you will be somewhere else in consciousness. And even though you continue in the same physical activity, you will see and understand things from a different vein. You will see and understand the love of God as it works in and through the lives of others around you, as it works in and through and around your life. As you awaken from within to the light of understanding, then it is a beautiful thing to experience. Everything is beautiful to experience. There is no right or wrong. There is no good or evil. There is just life. And life is unfolding as you move through it more and more. It is bursting into more of itself continually. And as you keep contact with that inner self of you, the higher self of you, then you understand. Nothing can come nigh you that is harmful.
I have a question.
Yes.
The statement, there is no evil, and how does one explain the fundamentalist belief in the devil and the fundamentalist belief that they actually are fighting the devils? I mean, I've heard many of them talk in various ways about that. I've read books about it, etc.
Yes. This is where they are in their consciousness. This is the experience that they need at this time, or they would not be having it. You see, you have to look from a long ways in the past and also into the future to really see the light of understanding in these kinds of situations. Many of these who are trapped in this fear of God and fear of themselves, and believe that there is an entity that is the devil. Many of these have karma from the past that has to be worked through, and they have to start from where they are in their consciousness. They cannot take hold of a higher truth until their timing is right. It is like those who are addicted to alcohol or drug. You cannot change them. You can only wait until they give up and decide that what they have is not the right thing for them and is harming them, and they reach for something higher. And when they do, there is an old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And this is true because we watch from these higher realms, and we see and we understand. And when one is ready to break away from organized religion or the fundamentalist or whatever you want to call it, into a higher understanding, there is always someone or a book or something to take them to their next step and to move them forward. And then it is up to them to accept it or to go back to where they came from. And sometimes people vacillate and they go backward and forward, and until they finally give up the old way and take on the new and reach in to the light of understanding from within themselves. It is a perplexing play that is on your stage at this time. There is much that is happening, and I promise you that in your future, as you call it, there will be changes. There are many changes now, but I'm speaking changes that will bring the light of understanding on the planet for the host, for the majority of the individuals that are here. And as this understanding stretches out, it is multiplying now every day. Every day, new ones are coming into the light of understanding on this planet. And as it multiplies, it may seem slow to you, but you see there is no time in the true reality of being, and this is rapidly happening compared to your past few thousand years, shall we say. Now things are changing rapidly. Many, even in the organized religions, are changing their tune. They're changing their way of presenting things. And life is opening up to more of itself. Did this answer your question, my dear one?
Yes, thank you.
You have a reservation about this?
Actually, I have, I'm smiling because I'm very thankful for your answer.
Yeah.
The only other thing I was just going to say, another statement would be, and there are people that worship him. I mean, for some reason I listened to somebody this morning talking about this.
Worshipping the devil?
Yes, what they believe is the devil. I mean, she sacrificed her child to this devil. And then she changed, and it was rather interesting listening to this woman talk.
Yes, these are ones who are caught up in the darkness and are controlled by the dark entities on other dimensions. And this does happen, even though we do not like to speak of it, but they have given their freedom for this to happen. And they are reaping karma from their past, and they must go through this. They must go through whatever they need until they can work it out. And your plane, you use the concept of time. And you see, in another lifetime, next lifetime, maybe they will see, maybe they will understand, and they will move away from this. Maybe they will understand in this incarnation, but it will come. The understanding will come, but according to each individual in their own time, in their own growth in consciousness.
And sending love helps.
Pardon?
Sending love to them helps. Is that correct?
I didn't hear.
Sending love to them helps.
Yes, it does help if they are open for it. Now, you cannot always be certain that the love that you send to someone will bear fruit, but it does stay in their aura for some time. But if they continue to go about their old ways, then there's nothing anyone can do, not even God himself, because he has given them freedom to express in the way that they want to express, in the way that they need to express. It is true that whatever anyone is into, it is a need for their growth. And it is something that will move them to something else and will eventually bring them into the light. It is difficult to look at from your surface plane, and it seems very slow to you. From our higher vantage point, it seems much more rapidly. As you are dealing with your particular karma and you are observing the world, the days seem slow and the years seem slow. But as you raise your consciousness, my dear ones, then time speeds up, as you call it, until you come to the place where you step out of time and you live in the present moment continuously.
I appreciate that statement.
Yes.
Because time seems like it's been speeding up the past few years.
Yes, time weighs heavy on some people, and their responsibilities that they take on. And remember what the Master Teacher said, my yoke is light. And when you feel a heavy burden, release it to your higher self. Release it to the God within you. Allow him to take it and relax, be at peace, and move from moment to moment with love and light. As the light dawns within you, it gets brighter and brighter, and each new understanding that you get helps you to understand much more. It seems to multiply. When you learn one thing, this gives you light for maybe 2 or 3 other things, and then the 2 or 3 other things give you light for maybe 10 more things, and so on. And as this happens, then your consciousness will rise above the physical, and you will be able to maintain that consciousness above the physical plane of illusion in a continuous way, and then you will not need this plane any longer, because you will understand. You will realize who you truly are. You will realize that this is just a play on a stage, and it is a place of learning. Are there other questions? Or is something that you wish to speak about?
As the question just popped in my mind, do some spiritual people or spirits return into bodies in order to come back to help others?
I didn't get all of that. Say it once more.
Do beings return to help other people?
Oh, yes. There are many who do not have to come back. They have finished their karma, as you would call it. But they have loved ones, many loved ones. And when you rise above this physical plane, you are aware of your love for all humanity. And you wish to do anything to help them. And there are many who do come back, who need not come back. And sometimes they do get trapped again and have to work out the misunderstandings that they get trapped in the illusion of this plane. But there are many, many from this side of the veil who are helping you every moment of time, and you need not be concerned. Holding concern works against you. Doubt is of the darkness. Worry, these things need not be in your vocabulary. They need not be in your thoughts or feelings. When you learn to release them to life, to God, and accept whatever you find in front of you, and do the best you can with it, and be loving, bring the light down into your conscious awareness, then you travel an easy road. Did this answer your question, my dear one?
Yes, thank you.
Let us give an example. For example, your master teacher you call Jesus, he had no karma to work out. He had long ago worked out his karma on this plane, but he did go through the same experiences that you and everyone else are going through. If he had not, he could not help you. But he came to set an example. In other words, he lived his life to give you a pattern to go by, to show you the way. And this is really the only, or should I say, the best way to teach is by example. The words that he said are very important, but the life that he lived spoke much louder than the words. Many others, besides your master teacher Jesus, have come to bring light into the world, and there will be many who will come into the physical in this new age to bring the light. But there will also be those who will materialize in the physical but not be wearing a physical body. But they will be visible to your eyes, and they will be teaching you just as they did in the time of Atlantis. In the time of Atlantis, your planet was close to being raised up out of darkness. And then something happened that it started going the other way. And many teachers would appear on what you would call a pedestal and teach great throngs of people. They would teach by talking, but they would also teach by thoughts in the mind. and expressions and pictures, but it was too late to save the continent, and so they had to start over again. And maybe I should say you had to start over again, because most on this plane now were in the physical at that time. Not all, but most. Is there some other understanding that you would speak of? The greatest understanding is to learn to love yourself, and by doing this, loving yourself and realizing your divinity, you then automatically raise your consciousness above this physical plane. You understand who you are, and when this dawning of understanding comes, not just as a glimpse now and then, but as a reality that you truly have, then you see everything different. You see life as it truly is, and your consciousness stays above this physical plane. You may stay in the physical and be an example for others, or you may just stay in the physical to be a light unto the world. Because you see, everything does proceed from the highest point of consciousness downward. And when one raises his consciousness, who is in the physical, it is a great thing for your planet. He or she is able to do much more for the planet than we can from this side of the veil, because you see they are in the physical and they have that contact with the light, and it makes much more difference. It is directly incorporated into the planet, into the people of the planet. So each one who overcomes the world, who rises above the illusions in their understanding, adds to more light on this planet. And it is like striking a match and lighting a candle here and a candle there, and soon the whole planet is alight with understanding and love and joy and peace. This has been a beautiful time to share with you in this light of understanding. Much more will come into your consciousness as you make the effort to make the contact with the light of understanding and bring it down into your everyday life. Are there other questions before we leave? We do not leave, but before we discontinue our session. Let us then break the contact and allow you to take the light that you have been given here tonight and take it into your daily life. Use it with love. Use it with understanding. All the truth is within you. Divine love is within you. Let it be expressed outwardly to be a beacon unto this planet, unto this world. God bless you, my dear ones, and good evening. Shall we have our circle? As we hold hands in the physical, let it be contact with higher levels of love and light, and let the infusion be great in our lives, the infusion of understanding, the illumination of understanding, and let us go into our week with love and light and peace and joy. Thank you, Father.
Shut it off.
Hmm?
Do we want to shut it off?
Well, unless you want to talk a little bit.
It's fine. Well, I turn it on.
That makes it bright, doesn't it?
I probably had it a little too dark. Yes, right out.
This was a peaceful contact.
I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed your questions.
Oh,
You know, anytime anybody asks questions, you always learn from it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the questions that I am about to ask, I get answered.
Before you ask, yeah,
Uh-huh.
that happens.
I noticed, yeah, that happens. And he says something, and he was like, I had a thought, and I get an answer. It doesn't always happen immediately, but it happens. Happened a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you meant, yeah.
Well, I think of the question, and then the answer comes to me. I
Oh,
just
you
know
just
it.
get the answer. Oh, okay.
You know, like sometimes though, sometimes I think maybe it's just habit, you know. And I try to change. Well, I keep adding to sending love to, you know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, you know, everywhere, and it just gets longer each day.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I don't know, and you know, I don't say it out loud. It's in my mind
Mm-hmm.
that I do this, but I think it's working.
I know it's working. Yeah.
I do too.
It feels good to have these sessions, and many times I feel like I don't feel like doing it, you know, but when I do it I feel so much better and feel at home, you know.
Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes I've had the feeling that, well, see, that's a long way over there, and maybe I won't go tonight, but
Mm-hmm.
I'd always, you know, I just say, hey, I can't do that. I'm gonna go, and every time I get over here, it's fantastic. I mean, I wouldn't miss it. In fact, we've got to bring more people in, so this doesn't.
We'll have
so
to
this
send.
continues.
We'll send love out to them right now. To, if they want to, if it's for their best good, fine. We'll pull them in with love.
This, you know, and there's such a great lesson every week, really, and it always seems to apply, at least to me. I don't know. You know.
This is the only second time I've been here, but last week was sent me a beautiful message.